Well, hi and welcome to this week's vlog. I hope you guys are well. Today I'm in the Peak District, strangely enough. Not strangely, why is it strange? It's not strange. I'm in the Peak District. I'm at a place called Padley Gorge. You may well have heard of it. I'll be honest with you, I just needed to get out and get near some running water. So although the Peak District's probably right on the edge of a distance I'm prepared to travel at the moment, the way things are, I just thought, with Boris has done his announcement yesterday saying that we're tightening down the the measures again, and I just think, I haven't been near any sort of flowing water for 6 months. That sounds a bit like I'm unclean. I don't mean like showers and stuff, clearly. I mean, you get my point. Anyway, I haven't been near any running water for 6 months, and I just thought, if I don't get out soon, there could be the possibility that it's going to be another 6 months until I'm anywhere near it again. So I just took the opportunity to come up here, and I have to say, I'd written Padley Gorge off previously as a place that was not the most amazing. I'm not sure why, to be honest with you. I think what happened was I came here very briefly when I went to Lawrence Field and Surprise View, which is that way, I think, and parked down by the station and took a little walk, and it appeared it was a very small area, and I was like, oh, doesn't look great. But actually, I've parked at the top end and it's huge, and there are some amazing trees here. So I've actually come for the water, but I might end up doing quite a bit of woodland here. So anyway, here I am, and I am going to explore thoroughly, enjoy my time here, buy some nice running water, and hopefully get some nice pictures. So as I was saying, along with the water that's here, there's also some fantastic trees, and I've got one here right next to me, which is just a beautiful, twisted, really old tree, and it's sort of quite high up here in the gorge, and it's sitting on these rocks, and you've got a nice rock foreground, and you've got some exposed roots here, and there's loads of moss on it, and I really like the way that you've basically got one part that sort of leans off to the left, another part that leans off to the right, and then there's a branch that comes over the top, and it almost makes a triangle. And that's what I'm trying to capture, almost, this triangle here with the base on the rock and the exposed roots. And luckily I'm shooting sort of towards the other side of the gorge. There's not a lot of light coming in. There's enough light coming in from the side to just like shine some lovely diffused light on the actual moss, which is making it look beautiful, but there's not so much light that it's overpowering, and there's not those little sort of specular highlights, if you like, that are coming through the canopy at the back. There's a couple right in the top left hand corner, but I should be able to just get rid of those in post. But yeah, a lovely little start, I think. Just a nice, interesting, sort of really gnarly old tree to start off with. Okay, so we kind of knew it wasn't going to be too long till I ventured down to the water's edge because that's what I'm here for really. I'm really drawn to flowing water. I do love it. Have I mentioned that? I think I might have done. And I found a little scene here. But before we talk about that, I just want to say a couple of things. Firstly, there's a lot of wildlife here, loads of birds, and they're not friendly, but they're quite, they don't seem to be too scared of humans, which is quite interesting. And secondly, just got passed by a runner. Now, look, running's great, and you know, I'm sure lots of people get lots of enjoyment out of it. But it's like, why'd you come to somewhere of such natural beauty and run through it? It's like, oh, look at this place, so amazing. Must get through it as quick as I can. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you know, I want to, you know, soak in the surroundings. Still, if you catch coronavirus, you're likely to survive, and I'm probably going to get a nasty dose and be very ill. So, swings and roundabouts. Anyway, here I am at this little bit here. I think there's some more further down, but I'm going to start off here. And what drew me to this place, there's a lot of trees, a lot of logs, fallen logs in the water, and I don't think I'm not sure if they're broken trees or whether they've actually been logged and left. But there's quite further up, there's an awful lot of logs. They look like they've been piled into the water. But here, there's one here, and it's kind of annoying, but I'm going to try and make something of it. So what I'm doing basically is I've got this, down by this log, there's a nice little swirl going on. It's rather bright in the very bottom corner, which I might have to do something with. But I've got this nice swirl, and then I've got some nice cascades, and then if you go back right at the top, there's one right at the very top. Now, I'm unsure at the moment whether I'm going to keep that in or crop it out, because I kind of like the focus on these cascades coming down here. I've got a few little old leaves, autumnal if you like, but not quite there yet. Here it's still very green, but I've got a few little leaves in the bottom right hand corner, which kind of adds a bit to the shot. And I've got the log sort of poking in from the left hand side, which, you know, is neither here nor there really, but I don't think it's too bad. If it is, I'll clone it out, to be honest with you. I've definitely got to do something about this bright spot in the bottom left hand corner. But yeah, shooting at about a second. Focus looks good. Touch wood, focus looks good. And yeah, we shall see what that looks like. So what's happening now, and what often happens, certainly for me anyway, if I don't get out and shoot enough, especially places that I'm really excited about and subjects that I'm really excited about, is I start to get a bit like camera happy, if that makes sense, like shot happy. I like everything I want to take a shot of. So I'm see this, I've got to take a shot. Head down there, I've got to take a shot. Go down there, I've got to take a shot. When I'm here more, when I'm come to places like this more often, I'm more selective about the images. And this is probably a really good example here. So I've got this cascade. It's probably one of the most impressive ones I've come across so far. That's coming through these huge boulders here, and it looks really fantastic to look at. But as a shot, I'm not 100% sure if it really works, because unfortunately, probably the best angle to take it from would be over that side. But I can't really get over that side because it's quite deep in places. So although it's quite shallow in other places, don't have welly boots with me, and it's quite deep, so it's difficult to get over the other side. So I'm kind of stuck here. That then means that everything is right hand side heavy. So I've got all of these huge boulders on the right hand side. There is a huge one on the left next to the fall, don't get me wrong, but then there's a bit of like a recess, if you like, where the water lies. And then you look around this right hand side and it's all dragging round towards me. Now, you could argue that I could use that, if you like, as a bit of a lead in, but I think it makes the image look a little bit right hand side heavy. I like these two rocks that are in the foreground here in the water, but to incorporate those means that I've got to incorporate this right hand side set of rocks here, these big boulders. So it's not the shot, the ideal shot, if you like, for this place. And probably, if I hadn't been here, if I'd been here a lot or I'd been taking waterfall shots a lot, I probably would have walked away, carried on walking down and looked a bit further. But unfortunately, I'm at the moment, I'm in that sort of like, oh my God, must look, must take. So there's a tree on the right that kind of balances it out a bit. The more I zoom in, the better the image gets, but then the more I zoom in, the more I'm losing these foreground rocks. So it's a bit of a conundrum, this one, but I think what I'll do is I'll take two shots. I'll take a shot at 24mm, which will show you how right-hand side heavy it is. And then I'll take a shot much more focused in on the actual cascade itself, and I'll show you, and that may show you that by taking out the foreground elements, although it's simplifying the image, it kind of takes away from it a bit because it's a bit nothingy, if that makes sense. I'll show you those two shots anyway. So I'm about 30 seconds down from where I was before, and found another little spot. Now for me, this is a bit of an exercise in getting up close and personal, bit of intimacy, you know, who are misses and all that. There's two falls here. I'm losing my voice because I'm shouting. I do apologise. There's two falls here that I'm taking, or cascades if you like, that I'm taking shots of. There's one on the right hand side, which is sort of a much more vertical drop. It's only a very small drop, but a vertical drop, and there's a log or a branch that's sort of diagonal across it, and it's really interesting the way the water plays, the way the water falls off that log. Get some nice shots there. And then the other one is just here in front of me, and you've got three boulders really where the cascade is, and the water's pouring over two of them. And again, it's just the way that the water looks as it falls over them that's fantastic. Now part of me wants to go black and white, and I probably will go black and white on at least one of them, but the green of the lichen or the moss on the rocks is absolutely fantastic. It looks really really good. So we'll probably keep colour in for one of them as well, if not both of them. But yeah, sometimes, you know, it's not all about the big picture, it's about the little intimate details, and that's what these shots are here. I love that type of shot, I really do. That's it from me this week. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Padley Gorge has been fantastic. I wish I had longer here, to be honest with you, but things to do, places to go, and I will see you on the next one.